27 polls, APC, four parties ready, 16 others in candidates crisis. And also, you have our APC dominated FCT council polls. We want to know how it happened. Get to the Vanguard newspaper. President Tinubu is re engineering Nigeria for tomorrow's prosperity. That is accredited to Senator Obani Koro. And also, you want to find out what it is for the exchange rate this day, February 23rd, 2026. Both, that is the naira to the pound and to the dollar. Get there, you get the conversation. Mexico's most wanted drug lord, El Mencho, killed in military operation. And democracy under siege. Tinubu's chokehold suffocating Nigeria. And that is accredited to Atiku. 82 months of unremitted pension deductions, heightened tension in electricity. You want to know what that is all about? You know. Then, surprisingly, there's an opinion post that is here. I said, how gaming, that is Baba Ijebun quote, has transformed Nigeria positively. You want to know what that is? Get to the Vanguard. And finally, from the Vanguard newspaper, it says, oil theft, how criminal networks are moving from creeks to communities, sea to sea. You want to know what that story is all about? Get to the Vanguard newspaper.
So let's go to the business day, and this one, I start with this one. Nigerians can buy refinery shares within 5 months, says Dangote. Yes, Nigerians, you can start buying the shares now in 5 months, says Dangote. Foreign investment seen as $23.3 billion strongest in 6 years. That is good. APC wins 5 FCT councils. PDP secures Gwagwalada. And FCT polls, Wike praises Tinubu, says Nigerians have identified real opposition. Wow, Wike will never stop. Flood, NEDC assures residents and motorists of speedy completion of destroyed bridges. NEDC assures residents and motorists of speedy completion of destroyed bridges. APC sales majority in FCT councils as PDP claims Gwagwalada. Okay, that I've taken that story before. And global livestock demand push agri-food gas emissions to 23-year high. And then the big story on the big business day is Naira rally lifts Nigeria stocks to Africa's top sport. Well, that sounds interesting anyway. Slowing inflation puts first rate cut in 5 months on table. And then if you go on to the business day, you see more stories. But then let's pause there and move on to another paper.
Let's get to the Guardian newspaper. It says ADC slams federal government, Akwa Ibom over oil wells dispute. And also the HURIWA accuses Wike of undermining FCT polls. The Chief of Defense Staff says we can achieve intel stability via controlled rehabilitation of terrorists. That is accredited to the Chief of Defense Staff, who says we can achieve intel stability via controlled rehabilitation of terrorists. Activist kicks as Plateau sponsors pilgrims with 7.48 billion naira. Then also, rail passenger accuses NRC staff of ticket racketeering. If you have any time, I didn't even give in time, traveled by rail, you understand that conversation. Dangote opens refinery shareholding to Nigerians, sets 4 months timeline. Then if you really want to go to invest in the largest refinery in Africa, the African continent, it is for you, but the window is just for 4 months. Anxiety as 25 oil blocks expire amid new executive order. Then you also have group raises concern over displacement of traditional markets in Lagos. Finally, from the Guardian newspaper, you have something around the federal government most 5% of GDP for industry development financing. These and many more you see, including Sarab urges Tinubu to revoke broad communication surveillance regulations from the Guardian newspaper.
Let's look at the Nigerian Tribune before we look at the stories in detail. Section 1 of Lagos Calabar Coastal Highway to be commissioned by May. That's according to the Minister of Works, Dave Umahi. And FCT Council polls, ADC defeats APC, wins first polling unit. That, but then still on the Tribune, Nigerian Tribune, you have this. APC shows strength, wins big in FCT, Kano Rivers, Ogun. And it's been interesting, right? If you check all the social media, we see a lot of things. But right now, the paper is reporting that APC shows very, very good strength there. Most terrorists killing Nigerians are foreigners. The federal government is saying most terrorists killing Nigerians are foreigners. Electoral Act, what changed in the new law? That is Senate leader speaking there. You want to check out the details of that story on the Nigerian Tribune. And APC's victories in FCT, Kano Rivers endorsement of Tinubu's reforms. Yewada, the chairman of the APC, speaking there. What do you expect? Plateau PDP sets up committee to investigate allegations of defections. These and many other stories on the Nigeria Tribune. So stay tuned as we look at the stories in detail. All right, Paul, let's look at this story. Let's start with the story, the Niger Delta Herald. I know we didn't mention it earlier on, but this story interests me. This particular story in the Niger Delta Herald interests me. 3 fewer dead as cult clash erupts in Igbogene community. I know during the wake up show we tried to look at this story, but look at this now. It says tension gripped the residents of Igbogene community in Ribayelsa on Sunday following an outbreak of violence suspected to be linked to rival cult groups, with at least 3 persons reportedly killed. And eyewitnesses told the Niger Delta Herald that the clash, which erupted in the early hours of the day, threw the community into panic as gunshots were heard in different parts of the area. Residents reportedly fled their homes for safety while business activities were abruptly halted. But look at this. This is a bit worrisome. Although the Bayelsa Police Command hadn't yet to officially confirm the casualties of the press time, sources within the community alleged that 3 young men lost their lives in the attack. The identities of the victims were still sketchy, while some others were said to have sustained varying degrees of injuries. Just barely a week after we had the police public relations officer of the Bayelsa State Command here, Mr. Musa Mohammed, talked to us about it, that the police command is working really hard to ensure that this kind of thing doesn't occur. But it seems like those boys are not even relenting, maybe because of the what happened to, they say it's a rivalry thing there. The whole violence is suspected to be linked to rival cult groups. How do we curb this? Can we ever curb this kind of situation in Bayelsa State? Can we ever do that?
Yes, we can. You just everything has to do with all hands being on deck. Simple. We'll start having healthy conversation around this. From, like I made mention in the morning, I'll repeat again. The society is a fragment of the family. So it's just that every society that you see, you say, okay, this is Nigeria. Break it down to the minutest. That's the family. We have to start having conversations from the family. That is, you see where we have so much in society presently. You see where we now give accolades to and encomiums to people that have this, that are in this particular kind of way or character and behavior. Find out these guys are doing what they do because in the upper echelon they have people that are the patrons and the matrons that are there, people that are in well respected areas. So I'm going to be aspiring to want to be like this main man, the senior men or anything at all. But you find out these guys that have been there before are still patrons. How many of them have their children running on the street and doing this? It's a conversation that has to come. It has to be sincere. The funny thing is, if our parents were so much in this thing and doing this thing, and they were dropping themselves on the street, would we have been on the scene today? It's just very simple. We have to be very practical with ourselves. Have conversation. Communities. Every community today in Yenagoa or in Bayelsa, even around the country, we know ourselves. We know those that are the troublemakers. We know those that are these ones that are there. Even families, they know themselves. They know people are there. Have conversation with these people. it doesn't pay.
Well, you know what, Paul, yeah, I love your optimism. I know, yes, you say we can, and indeed, to some extent, it's possible. But with the way the society is, I want to differ a little bit. That it's going to be really tough. I'm not saying that we can't, but it's going to be tough to fix this because the families. You might have a good family. You might be responsible enough to put up a good family. I might be responsible enough to put up a good family, but then it seems the evil has really penetrated deep in the world right now, and a lot of families do not even care about the one. So even if you call for a meeting and say, "Hey, let's have a conversation," and all of that, you could say have people who are very deviant and people who are not going to adhere to some of those moral, homilies, moral sermons, moral instructions, and so the society will always be that. So some people will argue that, look, you know what, the best thing is for you to be able to caution your own, but because you can't tell what's happening in the other family. Even as we are speaking right now and to the hearing of everyone, some people say, I beg, say, sometimes they just allow things to go. And even the scripture, when the scripture says, train up the child in ways to go, and when he or she grows up, he will not depart from it. Families are not even paying attention to that because of chasing of money, chasing of other things, priorities they feel that is important, not paying attention. You don't even know the emotional state of the child. The child grows up and you don't even understand anything. This will continue regardless of the talk because it's been there and it will continue. But then the question now is that who will call the attention of parents and those in charge? Who will do that? We were doing the radio on radio, right? But then it seems nothing is changing.
To see, like I said, it has to be intentional parenting, intentional counseling, intentional. And
how many parents want to be intentional? It really hurts,
I understand because how sad it has become is the fact that look at it in every way. Look at it in every way. Go to let's look at it in America. You're having gun violence. In the UK, you're having stabbings and all the things. You have it more, somehow, where these guys that are highly populated, where you see the African Americans, the gun violence and everything, the percentage of the young male African American that will pass the 18 between 18 years and even 25 or get to 40 is reduced because why? You have gun violence in the street, drive-by shootings, gang-related killings and all the things. It's happening. In the UK, it's stabbings because why? It is still rivalry called trying to show dominance. What am I wanting to dominate over? Another thing again you find out is the fact that society are giving credence to these things. Get to social media, they have social media handles. They're displaying all of the things, initiations, all the things. People have wealth. They're showing wealth and other things.
That's what's going to make it very difficult.
So that's what
people are beginning to make it a norm. It's part of the society now.
A norm part of the society, and we also celebrate these persons. We celebrate that which you allow and you celebrate. We end up becoming infested.
That means it's going to be really tough. It's going to be tough, regardless of the fact that we can, but because we're celebrating, it's going to be tough in curbing this situation. But then we'll see what the Nigerian police will do regarding this, because at the time this was reported, the police had not confirmed the number of persons who died. We just hope that they are going to do that and see what they could do at the Igbogana community. Initially it was a Swahili community, now it's Igbogana, and I don't know what's going on in Bayelsa State. But then we'll move on to the Punch newspaper. The National Assembly has unveiled far-reaching reforms in the newly enacted Electoral Act 2026, including a 2-year jail term for any resident electoral commissioner who withholds vital electoral documents, and the creation of a dedicated fund to guarantee the financial autonomy of the independent National Electoral Commission ahead of the 2027 general election. So when I was reading this and I was checking out what's going on in social media, I was saying, right, you want a 2-year jail term for any resident electoral commissioner who withholds vital electoral documents. But then when we talked about the other aspect of anyone vote buying is going to be banned for 10 years, or you're going to spend about how many months again? I mean, is it 2 million naira fine, or spend about 2 years in prison or something like that, right? I said that was too harsh. So is there any balance in any way? Well, this is the question people are asking on social media.
It's so, like I said, it's up for debate. You know, one of the things I think our lawmakers over the period of time have begun to do is to go with technicalities. The question is, what's good for the goose is good for the gander.
So if you're setting out jail term for resident electoral commissioners who engage in that, then there should be something for vote buying.
The question, the fundamental question is the resident electoral officer that's engaged in what? In
withholding vital electoral documents.
So the question.
Why is it withholding the vital electoral documents?
The question is, what do you need the election things for?
For who?
For who? And why? What is the essence? Where do you need these things? It's supposed to be with of course, the resident electoral officer. He's supposed to hold them until it's time for the election. So what do you need it for? And why do you need it? Who's calling for it? He's going to be justified. So now you want to bring the hammer out. Now that means if I ask you for these things, you're not giving me, then I will show you that this is what the law says. Now the question is, if you're doing that, why did we not allow this to happen? So you are now saying that if everybody now talking from a point at which his bread is being buttered.
Very interesting. When I saw the story, I smiled, because some weeks ago we talked about the same issue about the vote buying thing.
This is Nigeria. This is Nigeria.
I'll tell you, it's quite funny though. It's quite funny. But if you look at forward, if you look what the paper said further, it said Bamidele's attempt to highlight, that is, when we talk about Bamidele here, we're talking about the Senate leader Okpeyemi Bamidele. He was the one actually pushing for this reform, and his attempt to highlight the benefits of the electoral reform comes barely 24 hours after opposition parties fumed that provisions in the 2026 Act on primaries, campaign funding, and election timelines tilted the playing field in favor of the ruling All Progressives Congress. So a whole lot of things will be happening until 2027. ILENC is also preparing to release its timetable after starting the Electoral Act of 2026. And, I think there will be more intrigues ahead.
It's about time. It's about time.
It's about time.
Yeah, talking about it's about time. There's this story that caught my attention from the Guardian newspaper, and it says, CDS says we can achieve intel stability via controlled rehabilitation of terrorists. And said the Chief of Defense Staff, General Olufemi Oloyede, said the operation Safe Corridor has processed thousands of terrorists through a controlled and integrity-driven disarmament, rehabilitation, and reintegration framework since its inception in 2016. He said that the country could achieve stability and gather intelligence through the process. Gather intelligence, not a bad idea. However, the Niger State Governor, Mohammed Bago, expressed concern over an unspecified number of people and community displaced as a result of the activity of terrorists and bandits. So, now, meanwhile, security analysts sounded a fresh warning over the growing footprint of jihadist group in the Benin Republic, cautioning that the development poses grave security and economic implications for Nigeria. In the midst of all of these different things, the CDS, was talking, and that's when they made the remark. The idea is, when you rehabilitate these guys, what's next? And they say it's the next thing, clients to the respective national and state authorities for reintegration. After rehabilitating them, they started since 2016 and all the different things. You radicalize them, do all the things, reorientation, all that. Then you now send them to the state, various nations and the states for reintegration. Reintegration to where? What's going to be the process? Remember, these guys were, you can't, even if you want to, some person might say hypnotized, brainwashed, or misinformed, or updated. The software was updated onto, this is the reason why you must do this, kill for the sake of this. Now, if you're removing them from there, you have to be able to find something better for them to really get hold. But the reintegration is my concern.
Yes, it's a concern for a lot of people. This question has always been there. The first question for me I want to ask is, how do you know that this person has actually been de-radicalized? How do you determine that this individual that you want to reintegrate has been really de-radicalized? Because you do not live in the brains of the person.
Word.
You do not live in the inside of the person, the thoughts of the person. He might come in and at some point, because he's not getting what he wants. Remember where they're coming from. They get fed, they get taken care of, they get all the monies, they get to be with anybody they want to stay. They get to, in quote, rape any woman they want to rape, because after going for adoptions, they get those people and they're in their camps. They do anything they want to do to these ladies,
Yeah.
to these women. And then the person now has been, in quote, de-radicalized and now reintegrated into society. First, the question is, where are they going to be in the first place? Are they going to be living with Paul and myself on the same street? And I know that this person was once a terrorist and now being reintegrated. There's going to be some form of stereotyping. There's going to be some kind of discrimination. They are going to feel it, except the people do not know that this person has been once a terrorist.
Thank you.
But if the communities are aware that this person had been once a terrorist, but in quote has been de-radicalized, there's going to be some kind of discrimination. So the integration, and when there is discrimination, Paul, this person will not feel free in the society.
He's ostracized.
He'll start ostracized, and then we'll start looking for a way to go and back to that place. So it's going to be really tough. I don't know how do we determine this de-radicalization question. It's a problem. But David is just stepping in the studio right now. David, good morning to you. Welcome on board. A lot of people will your fans are waiting for you now. All the same. Good morning to you anyway.
Good morning.
Well, we've gone deep. We've gone deep. We've gone deep. But then, okay.
You started with the, what's it called, the Bogene issue. From the Light newspaper.
Yeah. No, from the Niger Delta Herald.
Niger Delta Herald. Yeah. It's okay. So, I don't know. You want me to start from there, or?
Well, let's look at this other story, the de-radicalization, the reintegration of some of those people who had been terrorizing the nation, and they want de-radicalized, and at some point create a program of reintegrating them into the society, and that's what we're looking at. The question now is, how do you determine that someone has been de-radicalized?
How do you determine that?
Because you don't live in the thoughts of the person.
Of course, some people could live by way of pretense. Some people might pretend to be, radicalized, but right in their hearts, they are still the same being they were or they are. So the radicalization process is just a thing of God, if you ask me. It's a thing of God. It's not what you want to tell the person or whatever thing you are trying to, bring the person out of. It is a thing of God. If God can change you, and that is it. But I don't believe in this radicalization for particularly the Boko Haram insurgents or bandits. I don't believe in that. For these people are criminals. They are people who have made up their mind to create or commit heinous crimes, and most who they have killed. There's no amount of repentance that you pass through. If I see you as somebody who killed my father, my mother, my entire family, and I survived, and I see you, I don't know the kind of repentance you are talking of. In my heart, there's no repentance for you. I will only be waiting for the time, place, and when it will be convenient for me to take my pound of flesh.
David, it's not.
So, in this kind of situation, even the person you are putting on the reintegration too, himself too, he's also aware of what he has done. Yes, he will not be as free as what you would think in the society. That sense of guilt is always there. He's careful. He's looking at where am I going to, because he knows what he has done. So in the event of anything, he can go back. For some, they have given birth to some of these ladies. Now, what kind of spirit are we injecting into those children? And also, some of them, they are just on pretense. Say, you will go and do this for us, but you'll be giving us information. Steady communication. How do you think you hear Boko Haram or bandits overrunning military base? Most times, it's from these same people that they have reintegrated into the society within us that are giving back these informations. They sit in the town hall meetings we hold. They listen to radio. They watch television.
Are
They
they
hear
not so-
what the people are saying at the marketplaces.
David, why the option of reintegration? Why the option of de-radicalization and reintegration rather than these serving terms?
It's part of,
Non-kinetic.
yes, approach.
Is
It happens all over everywhere.
Is
in
it
the
going to
world.
work?
It's not a Nigerian thing.
Will it work? Will it
Well,
work? It's one thing to come up with a non-kinetic approach, but then will it work?
That's why I said it is a thing of God for me. Yes, I have to bring in God here. He's the Alpha and the Omega. In some places, it does work. Take, for instance, the issue of militancy here in the Niger Delta. It was the 3 DRO they brought in, and today we are benefiting from it. So it depends on the kind of organizations these people belong to, what they are after. Then you now introduce the reintegration, radicalization, and disarmament and reintegration back to the society. Even here, our own South militancy, some people have done amnesty, but the amnesty is a lie. They are still there doing fire business. They are still there disturbing pipeline. Yes, they have done amnesty and they are benefiting from it, both the stipends, training, and what have you. Some people are still kidnapping. It's there. So it's, for me, particularly the terrorists, it's not the best idea, the best approach for me. Hold these people, let them face the consequences of what they have done.
That's what many persons are saying. Anyway, look at this other story we discussed earlier, but I want you to, chip in some words. The National Assembly has unveiled far-reaching reforms in the newly enacted Electoral Act 2006, including a 2-year jail term for any resident electoral commissioner who withholds vital electoral documents. And the question is, the moment the story was published, a lot started flying on social media, on X particularly. If this is possible, what about for vote buying, which the National Assembly said it was too punitive, too harsh? What would you say about
there
that?
is one grammar. for that.
Punitive.
Punitive. Is it punitive?
The punitive measures.
They try to embellish it with one grammar to
Yeah.
confuse us, like the real time and no real time issue.
What would you say about this?
You see, when you were reading it out, I was just busy because it's, in fact, we are confused in this country.
So electoral commissioners
Senator Okpeyemi Bamidele was only trying to defend the evil they've perpetrated, the wrong thing they have done. That's what he. Now, if you are punishing an electoral officer for withholding informations, you are punishing him for that. And here we are, these are the same senators, the same politicians who will bring Ghana must go back and begin to induce voters. And we are talking of vote buying. Then we say, okay, in what way can we reduce this vote buying thing? Because to say stop it is a lie. It don't turn our pattern, so we know if we stop her. Now, how do we reduce it? People have come up with proposals to say, okay, for anybody caught for vote buying, both the seller and the buyer, 10 years ban for you. Don't participate in anything our political arrangement. You are in this country, but stay away. We don't need you. You are banned for it. You pay a fine of how many? 5 million.
5 million or 2 years.
Or 2 years
2 years in
prison.
just 2 years. Correction.
Same thing as the resident electoral commissioner.
The 2 years is not even 2 years. It's a year and a half thereabout, because it's day and night they are looking at. So you will not spend 2 years. Very small this thing. The fear, their fear, what is harsh for them there, what is too punitive for them there is that 10 years ban. Say, I no go there for
Politics.
this, for 10 years. For this Nigeria. I don't die now. How will I am?
And you know that the moment you go for the 10 years, the moment you go for the 10 years, there's already a label on you.
Oh yeah.
That it was because you wanted to buy the votes. That's why. Then imagine the person coming again, my brother.
We know this one.
We know
So
this one.
they tactically removed it. In fact, they waved it aside. That ban was not even part of it. The
So-
band was
So
expunged.
what's going to be the punitive measure? Because they can't just completely take that away.
They don't have, see,
They don't have any punishment for vote buying.
at all. They are only dressing the bed for themselves to sleep. They are only arranging the arena for themselves to come and participate with ease, without any stress.
So,
So-
is it why even in the Vanguard newspaper, article says democracy is under siege. Tinubu's chokehold is suffocating Nigeria.
A lot of people will look at it from political angle,
Yeah.
political tone. He's talking from the wilderness. But is there any sense in what the man had said? I seem to, see some sense in what he has said, the issue he has raised. Look at the just concluded FCT
So-
area council election.
So this is to that if what you just
On our
said.
face, the FCT minister told us when he was addressing the APC people that just go and do your own and leave the rest for me. What does that mean? If El-Rufai had made that comment, what do you think Nigerian government would tell El-Rufai? Okay, you have planned to rig the election.
Article said, it continues, according to him, such poor civic participation in the nation's capital is not accidental, but the result of a, in quote, political environment poisoned by intolerance, intimidation, and the systematic weakening of opposition voices.
The just concluded FCT area council election make us to believe or experimented that clause 60, I mean clause 63,
Yeah.
the go and do anything you want to do, go to court. We have seen it too. We have seen it. It has started manifesting. That's an introduction to 2027. So the National Assembly, they only did what they could do to protect particularly politicians, their continuous stay in power, to perpetrate their stay in power by any means necessary for them to grab power. And at the end of the day, you go to court. Otherwise, what Okpeyemi Bamidele is trying to do there is just to defend what the National Assembly had done. They have put us into confusion.
So this
Now, even the Electoral Act that Mr. President has assented to, is it not the responsibility of the Nigerian government to quickly gazette it and bring it out to the public for Nigerians to start to study, knowing fully well that election is just next tomorrow? Start to study and take a critical look at the amended sections and know how we can also guide ourselves, how we can protect our vote, how we cannot allow the politicians, if they have created windows for themselves, to rig the election. We too should also think of how to use nail and hammer to nail the windows so that they will not pass. We need to see the Electoral Act, but it's not there. At the moment, we are not seeing it.
Because you know what? If the electoral act is published, Nigerians are expecting the punitive measures for vote buying as well. Because that matter has not been concluded.
But the president has signed now. What are we?
So we need to study to see if there's any punitive measure for vote buying as well.
There is none. The only thing that would have disciplined the politicians, that 10 years ban, that would have been the only punitive measure. The only sentence is that 10 years ban. That is like lifetime ban for them. They removed it. So which other punitive measure again are you looking for?
Well, let's look at this.
All the issues in the Electoral Act. Diaspora voting, was it taken care of? No. Independent candidacy? No. What do you call it? I've forgotten the other one.
Yeah,
But
right,
it's
to come.
also an issue. It wasn't taken care of. Vote buying. Okay, transmission of result. So why then did we spend all this time and money to say we want to amend the act from what it was to this one? What's the difference? What amendment did we do?
David, let's open the phone lines now. 0707 747 1522 and 0912 000 1975. Send a message on WhatsApp to 0912 000 1975 as well. We will love your comments to be very brief as always. Don't talk or speak too long on a particular issue. Sell 51% stake in the NNPCL refineries, Penga said, urges federal government. What do you think about that?
NNPCL refinery. Is it still existing? Is that company still there? I thought they are no longer existing again. Dangote are taking over the place.
We got a call now. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Moye and Stevie and Paul Pastor.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
West, yes. Bangbu calling from Tunga and Masuma Road. I earlier said the word. I think I said that I will not vote 2027. I think you are seeing it now. What happened in FCT, that is what is going to happen in 2027. And why would I vote?
Vote.
Why would I vote?
Vote, I'm begging you, vote.
I will not vote. What happened in that
Please vote,
FCT, the federal capital? That seems to go to play out
Vote.
in 2027 election.
Vote. Let your
When I will vote that my vote will not have, no, I will vote my conscience. Then I will
Satisfy
not
your conscience that I voted.
But when I vote, but I will not see the evidence of my voting now.
You will see.
That is the problem. Yes, that is the problem. Our leaders, they want to select themselves by themselves. So let them select themselves by themselves. Let them do everything. Our leaders, they don't want us to select. They don't want us to select our own leaders. They want to put that is, they want to be in power till forever. That is how Africa leaders are. So I will not vote. Thank you and God bless.
Well, thank you for
Then,
your...
I beg vote.
We have a comment from Facebook.
Please do.
And that's coming from Dr. Mrs. Ma Olebari from Owerri. She said, let our leaders take it easy and know that power is not permanent, it is transient. You have it today and tomorrow it's gone. We should realize that the existence of this country as a nation can only be possible when our leaders realize that they have a responsibility and change from nonchalant attitude they show to the plight of the Nigerian to real commitment. We have all it takes to develop this country, but it's held ransom by greedy and selfish people.
All right, thanks, Dr. Omar Lebari, for your comments. Let's go for a short break. When we return, we'll take more calls.
This is your golden moment. 97.5 Golden FM, the gold standard of radio. Are you looking for quality fabrics that stands out? Then you need to visit EVL Showroom, where fashion begins. At EVL Showroom, we bring you the finest collections of premium fabrics, from strong and original denim and jean materials to classic virgin and mayor wool, rich cashmere and elegant Irish fabric, stylish vintage, stork and Duchess materials, as well as crepe, CSS, and the ever unique John Kozo fabrics. Perfect for weddings, office wears, casual looks, and special occasions. Visit us at Store 826 Opolo Market Road, opposite Greater Evangelism Church, Yenagua. Follow us on Instagram, EVL Showroom, to see our latest arrival and premium collections. For more inquiries and to place your order, call or WhatsApp 0810-045-1800. EVL Showroom, premium fabrics, trusted quality. Best believe every tune strikes gold. Here on 97.5 Golden FM.
All right, thanks for being there on the newspaper review. We'll see how David West here with us. And of course, let's get back to the calls. Let's go here. Hello, good morning and welcome.
Hey, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Morning.
Yeah,
Mbate.
No golden, no last bullet. Last bullet on the line. Yes, this book Adam issue, people are saying the only option of those people, any of them that they have arrested, they should kill them. They should not spare them, because if you look the thousands of people they have killed, and maybe you have succeeded arresting them, and you say you should give them amnesty. Amnesty for what? What about the people they kill? Just like what David said. You will see somebody who kill your father, your mother, your parents, your brothers and your sisters. moving around. Do you think even that person that did those things, his mind is free? When he saw the film, he didn't know where to say, that person will say, hey, I killed this man, brother. It will be there. Whoever they are arrested, they should eliminate that person so that the next person will not come. But if you allow them to come out of the society again, they will still grow up again. They will go and marry and born. That blood will still there. They will still come back to come and do that evil things again. So whoever they have arrested, they should look around. They should kill those people. Don't they spare them? Thank you.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. David, let's take another caller. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, my brother David was Tony, calling from Monopa.
Good morning, Mr. Tony.
Yeah, I want to comment about Abuja election. I don't see any party who can talk there, take a vote, I will defend your vote. So it's not a bad statement. Somebody in Anambra, any argument who won, not to pay them 100 million. Why we can all call the difference? What do we know that other people are saying? So you say it in Anambra election. Is it a vote buying? It's no. Why we can say something that go and vote, I will defend your vote, be a crime? I don't know how Nigeria wants to be election of Nigeria be. Whether they want to make America come and contest election for us in this country. Election in Abuja, there's no any party who don't come protest that say, I get 1,000 votes. Is this legally? They give me 500 votes. There's no party. Why when APC win election, people go to condemn it? Why when other party win, they will say it's a free election? I don't understand this country.
Okay.
APC get members. Why can't win election?
Wait a minute.
Okay, Mr. Tony,
Yeah.
please kindly hold
my
on.
brother.
You know, in the midst of the conversation, nobody said that Wike said it was involved in vote buying. The vote buying conversation came up with based on what the Senate leader was talking about. We're saying that they did not allow vote buying things. So please, let's just get it straight.
Yeah.
This is what happened. You know, the conversation we're talking about what the Senate leader was saying.
About 2-year term for resident electoral
officers, commissioners,
for withholding
information.
Yeah.
You understand? So we're saying that if you're doing that for resident electoral officers, what happened to the issue of vote buying? Because we're talking about vote buying, it is an issue of all political parties, all politicians, including the citizens to themselves. So if politicians are found 10 years banned from the political arena, citizens, you go to jail. But they didn't allow that. It was too much. So that's what we're saying.
That's what we're saying. All right. So don't mix
please,
things
for
up.
clarity's sake, please. Thank you.
But the Socioeconomic Rights and Accountability Project, SERAP, has urged President Bola Tinubu to direct the Minister of Communications, Innovation and Digital Economy, Bosun Tijani, to immediately withdraw the Lawful Interception of Communications Regulations 2019, describing the rules as unconstitutional, unlawful, and inconsistent with Nigeria's international obligations. David, what would you have to say about this?
I don't know the position of SERAP in this issue, why they are coming up with this thing. If there is right to privacy in the Constitution, if there is right to privacy in the Constitution, I do not think you have that liberty to wire into my discussions or intercept other people's discussion. There should be some form of protection in every discussion I'm having with you or any other person via the communication lines. So if we just leave it like that, a lot of things will happen. Some people are specialists in bugging. This thing is there to also protect you and I. So if SERAP is saying maybe they should immediately look at it and withdraw it, let's not, because of the ordeals of El-Rufai or the statement of Nasser El-Rufai, begin to tinker with the law in a manner that tomorrow it will come back to affect us again.
Well, that's a serious matter. But also, there's this story that also caught my attention in different conversations. Let me just get to the Nation newspaper. It said Nigeria wins $6.2 million dispute with firm. The moment I saw that, I smiled. I said, okay, this is what Nigeria is winning at this time. Said Nigeria has recorded another victory in an international arbitration dispute with a foreign technology firm European Dynamics with the UK, and with the win, the country was saved from paying more than 6.2 million pounds or dollars, which a British company claimed it was owed. The sum is broken down as 2.4 for alleged milestone completions, $3 million in general damages, and $800,000 in settlement claims. So at least this one, we won this case.
It's a good one for the Nigerian government. Otherwise, we would have ended up going back to borrow money or go to our foreign reserve to begin to settle this judgment debt. But thank God, the courts, in His gracious wisdom, gave us judgments in our favor. And kudos to the lawyers who went to represent Nigeria in this matter. But let us not also hear in the Nigerian manner that their legal fee or commission of more than the amount of money we are supposed to pay is happening somewhere. This is just my candid opinion.
Why did you have to, you had to slip that through?
It's Nigeria. Before you know, you hear the legal fees is even more than the money
we're supposed
to pay, or a commission here and there. We don't want to hear that, please.
All right, let's take more calls now. Hello, good morning, and welcome. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Good morning.
Yes, Happy New Year. Good year, thank you.
Yeah.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Good morning. What's your name? Your location, please.
It's Caroline calling from Yenegua.
Welcome.
Eda Noah.
Go ahead.
Yes, they're talking about the election that takes place in Abuja. David West, you said people should come out in 2027 to vote.
Including you. Come out and vote.
Well, we will come out and vote just to fulfill all righteousness, because we know even though they conduct election in 2027 or no election, they will still declare Tinubu the winner of the election. We all know.
I
don't know.
Caroline, I don't know.
We just come out to fulfill all righteousness.
Caroline, listen up.
2027.
Caroline, listen up. We would appreciate, yes, we would appreciate you that you analyze and do not just run into conclusions that way. When you say they will still declare Tinubu or the president winner, you've got to be very careful how you use these words, regardless of the fact that you feel this is what you feel, or you have some kind of conviction. So you've got to be very, very circumspect with the way you say it.
If they can declare Tinubu the winner of 2023 election, what makes you think they will not declare Tinubu the winner of 2027?
2027 is a different election altogether, and Caroline, you have to be aware of that. Yeah.
We will just come out to fulfill all righteousness 2027.
Please.
Anyway, thank you so much, Caroline, for calling. Hello, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Dr. Moye and the crew. I greet everybody. Good morning, sir. Our time is almost up.
Morning, sir.
Good morning. God bless you, sir. For the INEC, quick. You see how they put the law now to favor them. 2 years only for electoral commissioner for smuggling electoral material. You see that? Then for me and you, I want 10 years. I want that God get power for this country. But it is.
No, I think it's misinformation. No, ours is not 10 years. We're talking about resident electoral commissioners to face 2-year jail term for withholding information. But then we're talking about for vote buying, and that has not been concluded yet. That's what we're trying to say.
My brother, the matter resemble well. Now the same thing. Well, let's just leave it for God. And for the body quarter that is being demolished, I thank the authorities. This is my prayer ever since. And not only that, we should watch out for the remaining. What do I mean by that? The people that we are hidden there, they are not asked to the streets. We should watch out. Don't go on because moving forward, there will be, some kind of insecurity, so to say. So, the authorities should also look at that also. And their quiet place should be used for something useful to the society. Thank you and good morning.
Thank you very much, Sir Perry, for calling. And that will be the last call for the newspaper review segment on the Golden FM Sunrise. David, your final thoughts before you depart this arena.
Yeah, I would like to conclude with the incident that happened at Bugene, the reprisal cults clash or attack. Please, whenever you people are doing this thing, you should know that innocent people are also using the road. Innocent people have the right to live. If you want to attack yourself, that is you people's business. After all, your population is too much. You decide to reduce it. To God be the glory, but don't put innocent people on the crossfire. Let us not hear that innocent people who are going their way are dead or were also wounded in no, please. Then the Nigerian police force should immediately swing into action, begin to do discreet investigation, start to arrest these people. If possible, they are leaders. And let's have a peace in this Yenegua. That Aboki quarters, this demolition will be what they did there. I think that land belongs to the Inuzegini people, the community people. If they don't have anything to do with it, let us build NDLA building there or police barrack there.
Your opinion?
Yes, my opinion. Or police barrack there. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, David West, for showing up this morning. We appreciate you. I love your suit. Maybe you're going to give it to me after the show. I do appreciate that.
Please, I love your wash. I love your wash.
David, thank you so much. Tomorrow
you are thanking me.
Thank you very much.
Please, I pull it.
Thanks for coming.
That camera is watching you.
See you tomorrow by the special grace of God. I am Oye Steving.
And I'm Paul Oblobugbasa.
Next is Let's Talk Nigeria. We have an important distinguished guest joining us all the way from River State, so don't miss it. Stay tuned.